guys, and welcome. We are so glad that you have decided to watch this video with us. But before we started, we wanted to send all the matrics and all the grade 7s a big shout out. Guys, as a community, we are praying for you. We are trusting for God's protection and God's divine wisdom over you all during this time. And to the teachers, thank you. Thank you for everything that you guys have done during lockdown for all the kids. Your job is invaluable, and we appreciate you and appreciate everything that you guys have done. So thank you very much. Now jumping back into today's video, and for today we are going to watch a short story about God's plan and sending Jesus the rescuer. And then after that, I would love for you guys to join me as we do a little bit of a science experiment together. So we will be right back after this video.
God's story, Jesus. So part of God's story, actually the biggest part of God's story, is about how he sent us a rescuer. And it goes like this. Way back in the beginning, God created a perfect world, and he made it exactly the way he wanted. It was full of good things like oceans and mountains and giraffes and jellyfish. There was no sickness or sadness or death. And he made people, Adam and Eve, to live in his perfect world with him forever. People were God's favorite creation. In fact, he called everything he made good, but he called people very good. Then something awful happened. They disobeyed God, and then that's when all the wrong things in the world began. Now, even though people disobeyed God, he loves us more than anything. So God planned a rescue. One day, he would send his son to rescue his family from all the wrong things in the world. That way, we could be close to God again. God's family was so excited about this rescuer. They waited hundreds and hundreds of years. They thought the rescuer would be a mighty king or maybe a powerful warrior. Imagine their surprise when the rescuer was born as a little baby. It was Jesus. It wasn't what they had expected, but it was exactly what God had planned. Jesus was completely human, but also completely God. That means he was perfect and never did anything wrong. He ate and slept and had friends just like you and me, but he could also do incredible things that only God can do. And when he was all grown up, he was ready to show the whole world that he was God's son. When Jesus was an adult, he started traveling and doing miracles. A miracle is something amazing that can only happen with God's help. And Jesus did lots of miracles. He went to a party and turned water into wine. He fed 5,000 hungry people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He calmed a raging storm by telling it to stop. He walked on water. He healed people everywhere he went. He made blind people see and paralyzed people walk. He touched the sick and made their diseases disappear. He even brought a dead man back to life. And he told people that he could do all of this because he was the Son of God. Jesus didn't just heal people on the outside, he healed them on the inside too. He forgave their sins. That means they didn't have to be punished for their wrong choices. Instead, they could follow Jesus. Some people didn't like what Jesus was doing. They didn't believe he was the Son of God. And even after all the miracles Jesus did, like healing the sick and making blind people see, they still didn't believe him. They actually wanted Jesus to die. And that's exactly what happened. Jesus had to suffer and die on a cross, even though he had never done anything wrong. When Jesus died on the cross, God's family was brokenhearted. The rescuer was gone. They wondered how they would ever be close to God again. But then, something incredible happened. Jesus didn't stay dead. He came back to life. He was alive. He is alive. This was God's plan all along. Jesus chose to take the punishment for our sins. He died on the cross so we don't have to. And now anyone can become a part of God's family if we choose to believe that Jesus rescued us. We get to be close to Jesus because he loves us. He loves us when other people don't. He loves us when we feel left out, alone, and hurt. He loves us even when we do wrong things. And this isn't just your ordinary, everyday kind of love. It's the strongest, most powerful, never-ending, never-changing, always and forever kind of love. And no matter what we do or where we go, he will always be with us. And that's the story of Jesus. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. God made a perfect world. People messed it up. God had a plan to rescue us. It was Jesus. He did miracles and healed people. He showed everyone that He's the Son of God. He died for us, rose from the dead, and forgave our sins. He loves us, and nothing will ever change that. And that's a really great part of God's story.
Welcome back, guys. What a great story, right? My favorite part was when the man showed Jesus his foot because he couldn't walk, and then Jesus put his hands on the man's foot and told him he was healed, and the man got up and he was able to walk again. Guys, that is the power that Jesus has inside of him, and that is the power that we have inside of us. How amazing, right? Now, for today's object lesson, we are going to do a little bit of an experiment with a big bowl of water and some black pepper. And this object lesson is just to show us what the gospel means and what it looks like to us. So let's jump straight into it and let's get busy. Okay guys, so as you can see in front of you, I have put a bowl of clean water, and this is part of our experiment as well as the pepper. So the bowl represents the perfect world that God created for you, for me, for your mommy and daddy, and even your brothers and sisters, and your friends and your neighbors to live with Him in. And the pepper, well guys, this represents the sin that came and entered the world through Adam and Eve. So as you can see, the water, which is the world, was all clean and perfect. And then God created Adam and Eve, who were also great, but they brought sin. And so sin came into the world. Now that water doesn't look so clean, does it? No, I wouldn't want to drink that. So our God, had to send a solution. What do you think that solution was? That's right. The solution was Jesus. So Jesus came to the world to forgive us of all our sins and be the solution to the problem. Guys, Jesus came to this world for you, for me, so that we could have a perfect relationship with God, with forgiveness of our sins. Jesus was the solution to the problem of sin. And all of a sudden, sin wasn't as profound as it was before, because Jesus gives us a clean slate. I hope you guys had lots of fun with this experiment today and watching with us. We are so glad that you joined us. We can't wait to be with you next week. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and we will see you soon.